Hey guys, I want to do a really quick demonstration of the introduction scene. So we'll be joining my friend Angelo here. He is the old AK-47 is from his days as a child soldier. Of course, Black Keys. He's now an executor of the church. He has his raiment, some dress boots. He's fashionable, clearly a member of the church. That definitely sings priest to me. Speaking of priests, let's go meet one. So in the story mode intro, you'll load into the train. Your character will be waking up on this train, not quite knowing how they got there at first. But you actually, maybe you do. If you don't want any tutorials, you can remember everything. If you do want to be tutorialized, you can say you don't remember anything. Right now, we're going to say I do remember everything because amnesia's, basic. You'll notice Kirei is watching you on the train. There's still some lines of dialogue missing where it'll snap back to him and you can see him staring at you. When he heads this way, he'll approach you on the train. He actually approaches the spot, not you. You can get away from him. And then within a certain distance, dialogue will trigger. You can also approach him to get the dialogue trigger sooner. But he mentions that, it's awfully late for you to be alone on a train. Although you should have known, he knew you were coming because y'all have the same job. He's been expecting your arrival. He's the overseer of the Holy Grail War you're going to be participating in. So he came to meet you. If you do have a few questions, I thought I could remember everything, but would you feel more comfortable going over with me just in case? And then, of course, you can keep them off. Wait, I changed my mind. I don't need my handheld. Of course, thank you for your patience. Turn on tutorials. Let's go over your stuff. Interestingly, if you say you remember everything, you can't ask him how you got on the train. That's a fault on mine. I need to add that back. If you ask him to help you. Whenever you are done talking to him, he'll tell you the train is pulling up to the destination, and you'll arrive at the Fuyuki Central Station with a little murder scene happening in the background. We're going to stay at the station so that we can show you what goes on here. First things first, always crush any crushable cans. We'll approach this farmhand that's a policeman. There's actually different lines of dialogue for when Kirei is not with you. Right now, you have no option to have him not follow you. That was in the initial planning phase, but for the testing phase, for testing the next phase, I removed it. It'll be back before I release anybody, but you can ask him what happened. He'll tell you that it's regular street violence. I do need to add a scene where you are like, I need to distract this man, and that's actually what this is. Out of context, it's bizarre. And then when you hit it, he doesn't talk, Kirei talks. Says maybe you should use some magecraft. Of course, you don't have any spells equipped right now because you have memory loss from whatever happened to you on the train. So if you talk to him, you can tell him you don't remember. He'll give you a basic tutorial and equip a spell to you. Tells you while he's looking away to hit a trash can. So we'll equip Firebolt. If Kirei is not here, you can actually go up and ignite them manually. Although it does also use Magecraft. So we'll get Kirei away from that. Hit a trash can. About 5 seconds later, you'll see it catch fire. That'll distract the policeman. Kirei will walk to where he's standing, asshole, and he'll run over to the trash can. You go over, talk to him. He'll just say that same line of dialogue forever and ever. He's supposed to look at the trash can every so many seconds. That way he doesn't look at you, look at the body. But you'll be able to investigate the body. We'll just skip it for now. And you have two options to go to either your hotel directly or the church. We'll say we're going to the hotel. This scene actually has no has no scripting. This is where the current prologue ends. But this will be the downtown Fuyuki scene that will be actually used in the main game. It's just going to have a few different entry points and a different mission template for the tutorial or for the prologue. So you arrive on the city street. It's empty because it's 3 a.m. And depending on your choice, you will either be going to your hotel as the goal or a church in the distance as the goal. When you leave the station, your hotel is actually across the street from it. You can cut through an alley, or you can go around and go through the city street. No matter which direction you go, you'll run into a servant. They'll come out from behind something. They'll be covered in shadow. You won't be able to tell who they are. And it'll do the internal monologue thing. And you'll mention that you can feel this intense murderous aura off this person or thing. And that every cell in your body is telling you to run away from this creature. And you can choose to fight that urge and fight the servant, or you can run. Either direction, you're going to lose. If you try to fight the servant, you'll have your starting weapons equipped to you. Normally, they won't be already equipped on you. So you can, try to fight, whatever. You're going to lose. Or you can try to run. You're very slow compared to a servant, so you're going to lose. So whichever direction, you'll black out from blood loss. If you choose to follow Kirei to the church, you'll see he's actually over here. You'll be walking along with him. He'll be pointing out different enterable buildings, like this is a coffee shop, this is a library, yada yada. This is an antique shop. Because his church isn't too far away from the town. It is up on a hill, so it's a little more secluded, but it'll be like the reason I chose the train station was because it is actually, or that particular train station versus a smaller platform was because it's close to a church. But when you're walking along, you'll get that internal monologue pop up where your character will mention that they can feel a murderous intent in the air and that something's wrong. Kirei will keep walking without you. And then off the top of a building, a servant will jump down and just stab you. Kirei at that point will turn around and attack the servant, scaring him away, and you'll walk out. So in either case, you're basically dead. You wake up in the church hours later. You're still covered in blood, but Kirei will mention that he's saved your life, and then you can choose to ask him a few questions. At that point, he'll let you know that 3 servants have already been summoned, giving a kind of ticking clock to your summoning. Since only one of each class can be summoned, only having 4 classes left is kind of risky. So you'll want to summon someone as soon as you can. And then at that point, you can also have him tutorialize you on how to equip and modify spells, firearms, a few other mechanics. And then you can also ask him for advice. He'll tell you to go to your hotel and plan out your workshop. In which case, you'll go to your hotel and there'll be a map that you can select and be able to select where you want your workshop to be. There'll be like 5 or 6 different places with different bonuses and kind of restrictions to them. So you could actually just choose to make the hotel your base, so you'll be downtown, you'll be really close to the shops and everything, so you won't actually have to plan your day around them. Because I do want it to be like Persona, where you have a certain number of hours every day to do your things before it's the Shadow Servant actually before nightfall, because at nightfall that's when you're under, you have a chance to be intact like you were at the start of the game. Or there's gonna be but at the downside of being in the hotel is you can't build any permanent structures. You can set traps, you can use tabletop equipment, but you won't be able to use build like mana battery bats, or you won't be able to build like golemancy equipment. But if you were to build like in a rural Akia or abandoned house, you'll be able to build out large structures in order to give you bonuses in the war. But downside of being in the middle of nowhere is that since there's no one around, people can attack you at any time of the day if they find out your workshop, which of course they will eventually. So it's kind of give you a couple more options. In addition, while you're still at the church, Kiera will mention that one of the only reasons you survived was because of if you're a person from a Magecraft family, he'll say the only reason you survived was because of your magic crest, because they have like basically not an autonomous, they have like an autonomous function where they'll keep their wearer or keep their user from dying, and you can survive a lot of abuse if you have a magic crest. But and if you didn't have magic crest previously, he'll say you only survived because he implanted you with the magic crest. But he can also swap your magic crests, so he'll bring you to a room with a bunch of what looks like circuitry inside of goo vats, where you can choose different circuits to equip, kind of giving you different play styles from the get-go. One will be like all combat based, one will be all support based, alchemy, time manipulation, things like that weren't able to be covered in the character creation. So that's my plan for the prologue. After that, it'll go to the sandbox mode. Right now, if I talk to him, it'll put me back to the the train station, and because I lit that fire is still going at the train station right now, and so that'll cause an issue. But yeah, so that's the prologue as is. The idea will be kind of do the prologue and then have branching routes from there, depending on your choices. So have freedom of expression from the player, but also kind of concrete story beats to make it a little more compelling. That way it's not all just emergent gameplay and systems interacting. Of course, for the next release, it will just be the prologue. Nothing too big done on the sandbox mode quite yet. I do have plans to add a mage branch to every military. So I think the idea is to do Serenids as gem magecraft. Kergitz as wind, Rhodox as earth, Swadia as fire, Nords as water, and oh shit, I forgot what the beggars. Because what are the main elements? Fire, wind, water, earth. What are they? They're Russian, right? I have no idea what I can make them. I guess I can make them. No, I think they make more sense as wind, and they definitely make sense as gem. Maybe make them golemanцers. I don't know. I don't know anything about Russians. And then you could go to their capital and learn the magecraft from masters there, or you can hire. You can recruit from their things to get people. Get mages from their army, and then also, their lords will run around with mage armies. Or some mages in their army, rather. So that way it's not super unbalanced. Firearms. I don't think I'm going to have them use firearms. I might have mercenary troops that they can hire. The lords can hire. that use modern firearms and have them explicitly kind of like you as someone brought in from a different parallel world. Trying to think what else. But yeah, that's all I have planned for the next release. I want to say I'll have the rest of the prologue done in about a week, where you can go through all of the stuff. So I still need some work done in a few other departments. Things like the spell book actually needs to be a presentation. Right now it's just this, and this can't fit all of the spells. I've been working on some really cool visual effects. So if you ever want to see what I'm testing at the moment in a release, go to Sargoth, because it always has I hide Easter eggs for my tests in there. Like right now, there's this water tank. These water tanks that drain faster depending on how many holes, but the holes are actually height determined, or like they know where they are in relation to the height of the water. So they'll stop draining. I think there's, what's the lowest hole? That one. So now you see it's slowing down, and eventually it'll get down to that speed. Yeah. Propane tanks can be primed by shooting them once with any ranged weapon. I think if you just melee attack them, yeah, they just explode. So don't do that. This keg is full of oil for some reason. So I was trying to test an oil fire thing. Man, I got really off track. Shit, what was I talking about? Talking about the prologue. So yeah, prologue probably taking about another week. I still want to add a few more gameplay elements for the overworld to make it compelling, so it's not just native with all these things slapped on top of it, not interacting with it. I do want to. I'll make the six kings are going to be each a master. Kind of give you a reason to engage with the world. It'll be obviously Rider, Assassin. Who are you? Shit, you'd be right. I know you'd be Archer. Probably, definitely Saber, Lancer. I don't even know who's left over. Caster, yeah, cool, Caster. And then you'll have, yours will technically be an extra class, because I'll let you just summon whoever you want. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Sorry that I kind of got off topic there towards the end. I should really script these things out. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, in the coming weeks, the prologue will be completely done. I'll probably release, no matter the state of the overworld implementations, after the prologue's done, just to kind of allow people to feel out how the story mode will be done. And then, yeah. So look forward to that. That should be coming out pretty soon. There have been a ton of changes since the last release. Outside of going open source. Thankfully, by going open source, y'all can see my build notes. So hopefully you're mildly informed as to what's going on. Right now, a lot of stuff is done through the camp. So like you can't get firearms outside of this thing. I'm testing out parties from the church and clock tower in there. Let's see. They should use Magecraft. We'll find out. Surrender or die. We'll equip the firearm because there's with my. Oh hey, I forgot about that. Ice Bolt. They all look the same from behind actually, so I need to change the graphics on them. But Thunderbolt's obviously gonna be way different. I started doing charge spells, and it works fine until you're out of mana, and then it really goes crazy. I'm not sure why. I think I maybe commented out their ability to use spells because they were going, yeah, they were miles away. But yeah, I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just going to head out. Thank you so much for watching.